Today, we are going to explore what happened to the co-founders of Netflix. There are two co-founders of Netflix, Reed Hastings and Marc Randolph. Reed Hastings is a more popular one, seeing as he remained at the company since its founding. Reed Hastings has been working at Netflix as its co-CEO for years now. Unlike other companies, Netflix has two CEOs. Reed Hastings worked with Ted Sarandos since 2020 to figure out a solution to Netflix's eventual fall in subscriber growth. In the pandemic, Netflix had its strongest subscriber boost ever. However, since then, Netflix's subscribers have been dropping. In order to satisfy shareholders, Netflix has resorted to more dramatic ways to raise their revenues. This led to the introduction of ad-supported subscription tiers and the unpopular decision to remove password sharing, which used to be a key feature among Netflix subscribers. Reed Hastings has stepped down from his co-CEO role this year in 2023. Greg Peters, who was the COO of Netflix, will be stepping up to fill the co-CEO role of Netflix. While Reed Hastings has stepped down from his CEO position, he still remains as the chairman of Netflix's board of directors. With his newfound freedom, Reed Hastings has purchased a stake in Powder Mountain, a ski resort in Utah. Apparently, Elliot Bisnow, one of the founders of the Summit series, which hosts invitations-only conferences for celebrities and tech executives like Netflix's CEOs, was instrumental in convincing Reed Hastings to buy shares in Powder Mountain. Reed Hastings confirmed the ski resort was an impulse purchase as the Netflix co-founder simply said yes to Elliot Bisnow's offer without asking for the price. Reed Hastings has owned property on the ski resort for years now. He loves Powder Mountain's community and wishes to see it flourish. Moving on, the other guy who used to run Netflix with Reed Hastings was Marc Randolph. Marc left Netflix way back in 2003. The way he stepped down as CEO was a little weird though. Years ago, Marc Randolph sat in Netflix's office while his co-founder, Reed Hastings, ran him through a PowerPoint. Marc was extremely shocked by what Reed Hastings was telling him. Reed was making the case that Netflix as a company might be stronger if he became CEO. Through the PowerPoint, Reed explained that he would become CEO while Marc would become the president of Netflix. The PowerPoint rubbed Marc in the wrong way. He was mad his own co-founder wanted him to step down as CEO. Reed Hastings clarified that they would be running the company as two leaders, but things still didn't sit well with Marc. In the end, Marc Randolph decided to hand over the reins of the CEO to his co-founder, Reed Hastings, citing Netflix's growth issues. Marc remained at Netflix as president, but soon found reasons to leave. Marc had realized Netflix was no longer a startup. Netflix was hiring incredible people who were much more competent than him. Marc enjoyed working for Netflix less and less. Eventually, he realized he only enjoyed building up companies in their early stages and so left the company. In Marc Randolph's memoir, he explained more about why he left the company. Marc said he wanted to sell Netflix shares without frightening shareholders. Banks and investors usually freak out if a president and board member of a company sold shares. So by leaving Netflix, Marc was able to sell lots of his Netflix shares without spooking Netflix's investors. He had made his bag and now he was more keen on spending time with his family. Since leaving the company, Marc Randolph went on to mentor many budding startups in the Valley. He mentored at Midcore, which was a mentorship program at Midcore College. Marc soon found mentoring wasn't really his thing. He didn't like how so many of the founders he mentored only wanted him as a mentor so they could put his name on their pitch deck. Having an ex-Netflix CEO on your pitch deck meant investors would give you more money. Since then, he only mentors up to 3 founders at a time. Marc has said before that founders can either have his time or his money, but not both. A business intelligence startup called Looker was one of the only companies where he broke his own rules because he mentored the founders and invested in the seed round. In fact, Marc was Looker's first employee. His title was ABC, anything but coding. The startup Looker was acquired by Google's parent company for $2.6 billion. Marc loved Looker so much, he remained as a board member after the acquisition. Marc has sat on several board seats. He advised a men's fashion brand called Chubby Shorts and the National Outdoor Leadership School, which is a non-profit which teaches technical outdoor skills and wilderness medicine. Marc currently sits on the boards of Dishcraft Solutions that uses AI to clean dishes, Solo Brands, which is an outdoor e-commerce brand, and Augment Technology, Technologies, a startup that uses AI-driven 3D blast algorithms to figure out how to blast hard rock mines precisely to limit the loss of millions of dollars worth of ores. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel so I can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month.